In last week's episode, we were following the rebirth of our Wildcat Z1100 Turbo project that's being built by PACE Offroad, a company owned and operated by NASCAR's own number 16 driver, Greg Biffle. In last week's episode, we were able to see our freshly powder-coated frame receive some of the new components, including the brand new Z1100 Turbo motor that fits like a glove. Installing the motor into the mounts is one thing, but assembling all of the components and fluid systems that makes this motor come to life and stay healthy, well, that's a big job. And Greg is the best guy to tell us just how important these systems are and how much work it took to get them perfect. And now, the continuation of our PACE Offroad build.
Yeah, so this build, we're really excited about this Dirt Trax Wildcat Z1 swap. There's so many things, details that go into these builds. You know, we have the Fluidyne oversized oil cooler, you know, with a Spall fan on it. We upgrade the radiator. We use the factory core and put aluminum tanks on it, make it double pass. So we upgrade the radiator. All these things, our wiring harness, make this thing so unique. You know, all steel braided hoses. We want this thing to be plug and play and go out and beat on it, have a good time, and have the reliability factor of a stock machine. So one of the unique things about our swap is the water system, the cooling system. It's very important to have a surge tank at the highest point, and we've done that on this machine. We got lots and lots of time of R&D and testing at our property and then at the desert with the Z1 swap, and have learned all the nicks and crannies of the Z1 engine. And one is getting all the air out of the system. So this design that we've done with this accumulator tank up on top and run the water through it, it gets the air out of the system, and we reroute some of the plumbing from the snowmobile as well on the cooling system. And it's just one of the things that we've figured out through our builds and design and testing that made this swap such a great machine.
While using the best parts and having the knowledge of what should work is key, Greg doesn't rely on strictly what should work. He uses NASCAR spec data systems to ensure that every system on the car is working at its peak performance.
So we're really fortunate to be where we're at in kind of the NASCAR capital, because there's so many neat companies here. For one, the powder coating. You know, we have some world-class powder coating people here that can do the hammer finish on the suspension. You know, that really stands up to the elements we put it through. In this red, we've done so many cool colors, and with them putting the clear on it, preserve the color. It's amazing. And then, you know, when we did all of our testing in the beginning with the Z1 engine, you know, we had probably a $50,000 or more data system on board that recorded everything that was going on. We had probably 5 temperature points, 4 oil temperature points, you know, with the oil cooler, without the oil cooler. What did it do to the water temperature when we added the oil cooler? We measured how many gallons per minute the water system's flowing. We tested 3 different radiators, you know, CNR, Fluidyne, the stock radiator. And we had high-speed cameras in the belt housing, watching what the belt's doing. And we had 2 temperature points, inlet air, ambient temperature inside the housing, outlet air. So we did so much testing, and we're able to have resources around this area. When we did the carbon fiber clutch cover, you know, we had Debotech, one of the leading carbon manufacturers here in the area, help us design the cover and make it. And you know, I mean, all these processes take so much time. It took us probably 6-7 months to do the belt cover. And we had to do 2 versions of it. So you know how much molds cost. We had to go and do it again. There's so many resources here with all the radiator manufacturers, data systems, McLaren, all that. We were able to really do some really cool stuff, and we're not done yet. We got a lot more to come. You know, we're getting ready to produce shock pots on these things and do whoops testing and jumping and get shock speed data, inches per second. We can bring it back to the shock dyno and try and build a shock and spring package for all different kinds of riding. So we're really fortunate to be where we're at and be able to bring a lot of this technology to the side-by-side market that probably, to be honest with you, some of the factory, you know, Polaris or Arctic Cat or BRP may not have and may not have been able to do some of that testing.
When it all came together, there truly were few words to properly describe this build. Greg and the crew at PACE Offroad did such an outstanding job with this build, the only thing left to do was fire the engine and give it a test. A little 112 octane race fuel and a few cranks, and the Z1100 came to life. Utilizing the gauge package off the Arctic Cat snowmobiles, there is a huge amount of engine info available, as well as the standard warm-up required before the motor will give full advance. And once it did warm up, well, we thought we'd follow optimal break-in procedure and go straight to race mode. Pushing 28 plus pounds of boost and making nearly 280 horsepower. The stock tires did not stand a chance. While we followed this build from start to finish, we're not sure exactly of what it's capable of. So stay tuned to next week's episode where we're headed to Glamis, California with Greg to see exactly what the Wildcat can do, and add in a few more accessories that hadn't arrived yet.
If you enjoyed this video, post a comment and let us know what you think. Then click this link to subscribe and that link for more great videos from Dirt Tracks TV.